Muslims claim they are the fastest growing religion in the world. No problem. I am going to prove in this video why Islam is growing very, very fast.
Now I want us to compare two friends, and they were in the same school and they completed in the same year, and they married in the same year. That is Mustafa, who is a Muslim, and Stephen, who is a committed Christian. Mustafa, a very committed Muslim, and Stephen, a very committed Christian. Let's look at it. So this is the first generation. The first generation is Mustafa and Stephen. Mustafa married in 1950, and Stephen also married in 1950. In 1955 to 1975, Mustafa, as a Muslim and has money, he married 3 other wives. So apart from Memuna, Mustafa married Aliyah, Amina, and then Aisha. And from the same 1950 to 1975, in 25 years, Stephen was a committed Christian, was still married to one wife, Elizabeth. Now, Mustafa gave birth to a number of children. Memuna gave birth to 7 children. Aliyah gave birth to 5 children. Amina gave birth to 6 children, and Aisha 4. Stephen's wife Elizabeth gave birth to 3 children. So let's look at the total family members that belongs to Mustafa. Mustafa and his 4 wives, they are 5, and then they had 22 children. Memuna 7, Alisa 5, making 12, Amina 6, making 18, Aisha 4, making 22. So the total of Mustafa family in 25 years, they were 27. Now when we come to Stephen, Stephen had three children, and his total family was here Stephen and his wife, so 2, plus the children 3, making what? 5. So in 25 years, Mustafa had 25 family members, and Stephen had 5. Now let's look at the second generation. As the children of Mustafa and Stephen. The 22 children of Mustafa married averagely 3 wives. You know, the Muslims, they can marry, if you have money and you are capable, you can marry not more than 4. You can marry 4 wives. But when you come to the Christians, you cannot marry more than a single wife. So the Christians marry 1, that's the committed Christians, and then the Muslims can marry 4. So Mustafa's 4 wives, they gave birth averagely to 3. They gave birth to 22 children. And these 22 children averagely married 3 wives. Some of them married 2, some of them married 3, others married 4. So averagely, the 22 children of Mustafa married 3 wives. So the 22 children times the 3 wives is 66 people. You see, the 22 children plus their 3 wives, the average 3 wives is 66 people. That is from 1975 to year 2000, another 25 years. This is the second generation. And the 3 children of Stephen, they also married 1 wife each. And these children plus their 1 wife, these 3 children plus their 1 wife each is how many? 6. And these 3 wives averagely gave birth to 3 children. Some gave birth to 5, some gave birth to 1, and so on. So these 3 wives averagely gave birth to 3 children. So 3 wives plus the average 3 children is 9. Plus their husbands, the 3 husbands, plus their 3 husbands. So 3 husbands, 3 wives, 9 children is how much? Is 15. So in from 1950 to 2000, that is in 50 years, the children of Stephen were 15. The people that belong to, not the children, the people that belong to the family of Stephen, they were 15. And the children and those of Mustafa, they were 418. That is, the 66 wives gave birth averagely to 5 children. So the 66 wife times 5 is 330 children. Plus their husbands, the 22 children of Mustafa, who are now the husbands of these wives. So the 22 plus 66 plus 330 is 418. So in 50 years, from 1950 to year 2000, in 50 years, Mustafa's family, the Muslim Mustafa, they were 418, and Stephen, they were 15. Now let us add generation, the first generation and the second generation. That is the Mustafa family. He and his wife, they were what? He and his wife, that's the first generation, and then the children, the children too. Do you understand? The first generation of Mustafa, they were 27. He and his four wives, they were 27. And then the children too, the second generation, plus their children and their wives, they came to what? 418. The first generation of Stephen, he and his single wife and three children, they were 5. The second generation, their children also gave birth to 15. 15. So the grand total of Stephen is 20. And the grand total of Mustafa, 418 plus 27 is 445. So in 50 years, Mustafa had 405 family members. And in 50 years, Stephen had 20. So you see, when it comes to the growth of Islam, Islam is based mainly upon procreation. You see, Islam grows not because of their winning souls and so on, but it's based upon their giving birth to numerous, plenty children. That is Islam. They give birth to plenty children. So in 50 years, Mustafa had 445 family members, and Stephen had only 20. You get a difference. Now let us go to the next 50 years. Mustafa Muslim population in another 50 years is that is in 100 years, 445 times 50 years is 22,250. Do you understand? This is when we make everything averagely, we just times it by the number of years. Then the next 50 years, it will be 22,250. So in 100 years, Mustafa's family will be 22,250. Let's come to Stephen. In 100 years, that's the next 50 years, Stephen's family will be, because they were total 20 in the first 50 years. So 20 times 50 is 1,000. So in 100 years, Stephen's family, his grandchildren and great-grandchildren and so on, there will only be 1,000. But Mustafa, his children, his grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and great-great-great-grandchildren, there will be 22,250. So in 100 years, I repeat, in 100 years, Mustafa family will be 22,250. And Stephen will be only 1,000. Now let's get a difference between Stephen and Mustafa. As in here, the difference is in 100 years, Stephen will be, as the next 50 years, Stephen will be 1,000 and Mustafa 22,250. When you take 1,000 out of the 22,250, you come to 21,250. So in 100 years, the Muslims, Mustafa's people generation, the Gen Z, the Bloomers, all type of generation, the 5 main generation of Mustafa, there will be 21,250 more than Stephen. And they started they went to the same school. Completing the same year, and married in the same year, and they were all people who were rich, they had money. Now let me multiply, let me add other families to Mustafa and Stephen. So let me take 1,000 Muslims, the 1,000 Christians in the same arrangement. So Mustafa was 22,250 times 1,000 Muslims in the same style, in the same vein. Mustafa will be in 100 years. That is Mustafa plus the other 1,000 Muslims, or 1,000 Muslims. There will be 22,250,000. In 100 years, when we take 1,000 Muslims together, there will be 22,250,000. And then when it comes to Stephen, in 100 years times 1,000 Christians, there will just be 1 million. So it means that in 100 years, when you take 1,000 Muslims and 1,000 Christians, the difference is that the Muslims will be 22,250,000 and the Christians will only be what? 1 million.
Now let's look at some reasons from the internet why Islam is growing. 7 fastest growing religions you need to know in 2025. Religious demographics now change at an unprecedented rate in human history. The world's religious makeup keeps evolving. The fastest growing faith has altered the map of communities and societies worldwide. These changes impact everything from cultural norms to geographical dynamics. Growing knowledge about the fastest growing religions in 2024 is vital for sociologists, policymakers, and anyone who follows global trends. Our detailed analysis look at 7 religions that grow the fastest globally. We'll get into these growth patterns, geographic spreads, and what drives their expansion. Now let's look at Islam. Islam leads global religious growth with 2.04 billion adherents worldwide, representing 25% of the global population. Growth statistics and projection of Islam. Muslim population expands rapidly, and projections show a 70% increase between 2015 and 2060. This growth surpasses the expected 22% increase in global population during the same period. Muslims will likely reach near parity with Christians by 2050, reaching 2.8 million followers. That represents 30% of the world population. Now, these are the factors driving the Islamic population growth. The factors. There are 3 main factors that drive Islamic population growth. The first one is demographic advantage. Muslims maintain the youngest median age, that is 20 years, among all major religious groups. Yes, they give birth fast. So once they give birth fast, they will have the youngest medium age, 24 years. Do you understand? They have more Gen Z. They have more Gen Z. And then what? High fertility rates. Muslim women have an average of 3.1 children, while non-Muslim women have 2.2 children. So like I was saying, you see, Muslim women give birth to plenty children, 3.1%. And the non-Muslim is 2.2%, which means that averagely a Muslim woman, when she gets married, she gives birth to 3.1, or let's say 3 children, at least 3 children. And then a non-Muslim, 2 children. So if a Muslim man marries 4 wives, and averagely they give birth to 3 children each, it means 12. So you see my calculation which I did earlier is saying that Muslim women give birth to at least 3.1, or let me say 3 children each. So if a man marries, if a Muslim man, if Mustafa marries 4 wives, he's going to give birth to 12 children. So Mustafa plus his wife plus his 4 wives, that is making 5. Mustafa plus his 4 wives making 5. Plus the 12 children, that is what? 19. 5 plus 12, that is 7. 5 plus 12, that is 19. 5 plus 12, 12 plus 5, that is 17. That is 17. So in the first generation, Mustafa will have he plus his wife, that is 5, 4 wives, that is 5, plus 12 children, making 17. And how much more will Stephen have? The third one is population momentum. Large youth populations entering childbearing years will give continuous growth. Once you give birth to children, and then some of them start giving birth around, the women sometimes start giving birth around 13, 14, 15 years. And the Christian woman will give birth maybe 25 going. Do you understand? And they have more youth giving birth. What is going to happen? So I say again, Islam is growing by procreation or population growth. They are growing not because of winning people to them, but they are growing because of giving birth to plenty children.
So I repeat, Muslim Islam does not grow because of their winning souls. Their winning souls is maybe only about 3%. Muslims grow mainly, that's about 85%, because of just giving birth to children. And Muslim, if you are listening to me, you know what I'm saying. So that it's not a lie. It's not a lie. I am just giving you the facts and figures. So if you Muslims keep on procreating, you keep on giving birth to plenty children, your religion, Islam, will be very, very fast in its growth. That is why many people believe that Islam is the fastest growing religion. It is not based upon you winning souls, but it is the fastness is based upon you giving birth to plenty children. Procreation. And I repeat, and you know what I'm saying is true. That in the normal Muslim town, There are more people. There are more people who have been given birth to. There are more wives than the Christian area. So I repeat, Islam is growing fast not because you have won souls for your Allah, but because you give birth to plenty, numerous children. The Abiba, the Aisha, the Isietu, the Memuna, the what? Frafra, the Abdullah, the Nuruddin, the Farouk, plenty children. We give birth to the Afote, the Dai, the Bokite, the Utu, the Nana, the Kwame, the Chas. We just give birth to just a little. So Islam is growing not because you keep on winning souls for Christ, for your Allah, but because of childbirth, because of procreation. I can even imagine if Muslims are just like Christians in the way when it comes to killing people, when it comes to Allahu Akbar. You know, when you go to Muslim countries, you know, they are always fighting. The Shias are fighting the Sunnis and the Ahmadiyas and so on, the Sufis and so on. They keep on fighting themselves. Do you understand? And because they keep on fighting themselves, they keep on killing themselves. If that is not happening, I can just imagine the growth of Islam. The growth of Islam. You see, when the Palestinians attack Israel, and the Israelis lost about 1,500. But you know, the Israelis have not killed more than 50,000 Palestinians who are Muslims. So, Muslims, if it's not because of them murdering themselves, or they liking to kill themselves or to engage in war, I am telling you, like Islam, the growth of Islam will be more serious. Like Islam will be the number one when it comes to population. They will be the highest in the world. Presently, yes. I can just imagine when Jesus Christ came. If Muhammad had come during that period, like I'm telling you, Islam will be about 60% of this present world. Yes. Look at North Africa. It is full of Muslim countries. But we know North Africa, formerly they were Christians. Iraq, Iran, Syria, they were Christian countries. But because of they being attacked and forced to become Muslims, that is why Islam is growing very, very fast. So I repeat, Islam is not growing because of they winning souls, but it's because of they murdering themselves. And secondly is because of they procreating, giving birth to numerous children. Yes, because they like giving birth. So my friend Abu Bakr, my friend Mustafa, Farouk, Nuruddin, Abdullah, please. I am just giving out the bare facts statistically. I'm using mathematics for you to know, not for you to know, for you to be reminded that your Islam is not growing because of you winning souls, but it's because of what? Procreation. May God bless you, Mr. Christolite. If you're a Muslim, just give your heart to Jesus Christ. Give your heart to Jesus Christ. Because he loves you. He came to die for you. He came to die for me. He came to die even for your Muhammad. He came to die for everybody in this world. Give your heart to him. If you don't give your heart to him, like I've said in other videos, even your prophet, when he was asked on his deathbed where he's going, he said he does not know where Allah will place him. Give your heart to Jesus Christ. And when you give your heart to Jesus Christ, he will wash you from your sins. And he will send you to his prepared place. Give your heart to Jesus Christ. I'm Dr. Niboje Christolite. God bless you. And please, if you're a Christian also, share this video. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel, Muslims for Christ. And apart from this channel, Muslims for Christ, I have another channel that is in my name, Dr. Niboje Christolite, where I teach deep into the Bible. Then I have another channel, Hallelujah Forex, where I teach people how to do forex trading. I have a channel, Final Goodbye, where I put friends and family members when they die. I put their videos. There. They have another channel, Christolite TV, where we broadcast what happens in the world concerning Christianity. Just go to the channels and then please subscribe to all of them and share. May God bless you. May God touch you. I come against any words of the devil against you. And if you're a Muslim, I come against any plans of the devil against you. And I say that you give your heart to Jesus Christ. See you in the next video.